Don't it look good, man? It's just something about this that just give me real John Wick vibes, man. But y'all know I'm more so like an urban John Wick, man. I'm more so like a Ron Slick. What's good, YouTube, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to I Am Fresh. And we are back at it again with another video. And to my Fresh fans, thank y'all so much for always tuning in with your boy. Yeah, boy. And what is today's video going to be about, you may ask? Well, I'm sure you've seen the title. In case you haven't, it's going to be about this thing right here, man. All right. But before we move forward, let's go ahead and render this thing safe. As you can see, there is nothing inside the magazine. We'll set that to the side. And as you can see, chamber is clear, and we are filming this one right here in a safe location. All right, so now that we got the safety out the way,
now back to your regularly scheduled program.
I wanted to shoot a video that pertained to a lot of engagement I was getting wrapped around this particular thing. I get a lot of questions about what is it, does it work, and a multitude of other questions. And I'm here to answer those questions today, right here in this video. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get this thing on the tabletop, man, so we can get into an in-depth discussion. All right, y'all, let's get it. All right, Fresh family, so now that we got this thing on the tabletop, let's jump into the most common asked questions about this particular attachment here. A lot of folks are just curious as to what it is, because you know, it looks like a compensator, but it doesn't look like your traditional compensators, right? And that's because it is, but it isn't a compensator. That's actually just an added secondary feature to this thing, but its sole purpose is not compensation, all right? What this is it's a dark hour defense standoff device. A standoff device is a tool used to keep the gun and battery when it's pressed up against a hard surface. All right, so say you're in some close quarter combat, or if this thing was pressed up against a body or a hard object, it's designed so that the slide can return all the way home, thus allowing it to continue to cycle the next round, keeping the gun in battery, keeping the gun eligible to fire the next round. All right, so without this, if you was to press this against a hard surface, the gun will potentially get knocked out of battery, which is when the slide stays back like this and doesn't return completely to home, thus not cycling around or seating around properly, and you will not get any discharge from that. The gun is basically dead. All right, you got a dead trigger and you got a dead slide. Okay, so either you'll have a failure to extract, a failure to eject around, or you'll have a failure to fire. One of the two. All right, so that's when this thing comes into place. The reason why I love carrying this on my EDC is because if I'm ever in a situation where I'm in a close quarter combat situation, if things have gotten physical and I'm still able to draw my firearm, I still want this thing to be able to cycle the next round no matter what it's pressed up against. All right, so of course, you know, Glocks are known for being pretty reliable and tried and true throughout the years, man. So that paired with a nice good old factory Glock magazine with a reputable base plate extension right there, you're getting some good reliability, especially on the feed, and this will allow you to stay in the fight in case you are pressed up against some tight surfaces, man, and you need this thing to still go off. So with this being a standoff device, what it also is as a secondary feature, it has some ports. All right, so there is a gap, as you can see. When you slide that back, there is a small little gap, and we'll close, I'll bring it closer, we'll close the gap as the barrel and the slide return all the way home. As you can see, this compensator doesn't sit all the way on the slide like most compensators do, sit flush on the barrel and it's hugged up against the slide. There is a small gap, but again, it has to be a small gap by design to protect the gun from going out of battery. But with this on here, the weight of it as well as these cutouts right here, it does allow for some compensation. So if you're shooting your more spicier loads, your more high grain ammo, then of course you'll know you're only getting about around like 8 to 10 reduction in felt recoil. Now if you're shooting a more lighter grain, more softer ammo, more kind of like training ammo, you can feel upwards of 15% reduction in recoil with this particular device on. All right, so remember, it's still weighted. It's made out of aluminum. It's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough that it allows you with a loaded mag and this on the end to keep this thing more balanced. All right, so that paired with those ports there with the gases escaping would allow for an increase in accuracy in shooting this thing. You'll definitely see some more accurate shots because of that controllability, because of that reduction in recoil. Even that subtle amount of reduction in recoil really adds up to more accurate shots. It really counts, all right? Another reason why I like this particular device is because with this on here, I don't have to sacrifice my reel. Normally when you mount something on the reel, that's it for your reel. You can no longer put any other attachments, right? Well, this one in particular still allows you to run a reel because as you can see, it has a rail plate at the bottom of it. All right, so this allows you to still run any type of attachment that you wanted to run underneath this. Now I could run a flashlight underneath this thing, but I don't want this to be too bulky because like I said, this is my EDC, and adding this on here adds to the overall length of it. With this on here, you're looking at about the length of a full scale. I think it's correct me down in the comments, is it the Glock 17? That's the 40 cal full scale Glock, or is it the 19? This is about the length of that in total length. This is my experience with this thing, and what I am saying is that yes, it works for me, and yes, I feel a reduction in recoil. But listen, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If so, do not hesitate to give this video a thumbs up. Man, comment down below, man, what you think about this thing right here. And if you haven't already, man, consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the Fresh Fam. And until the next time, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.